Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Oracle of Atlantis. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to get into your Lotus message reading to see what you need to know of at this current time on your path. All of the decks I will be using for your reading will be hashtagged in the description box below, as well as my Instagram and PayPal for donations. So we're starting your reading with the Heavenly Bodies Astrology Oracle. So what does the viewer need to know at this time? Please and thank you. We have Saturn, feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learn hard work, and patience with the Owl's energy. Owls can represent wisdom, insight, seeing through shadows or illusion, as well as Sagittarius, optimism, bravery, exploration, and freedom. So Saturn, I do usually connect to the energy of karma. Connected with Sagittarius' energy, this can be the zodiac of goals and desires. So there may be some either something that's kind of karmically happening to you or will be happening to you in a negative or positive space. The energetics of Saturn are restriction, scarcity, patience, time, hard work, tradition, authority figures. Where in your life do you feel a faded sense of lack? Where in yourself do you feel deeply insecure or inadequate? Your guides know the tender nature of these questions and remind you the truth of your soul is innately whole and unconditionally worthy. Yet here on earth, human brokenness so easily hardens into shame. Can you shift your perspective and see any broken pieces as potent opportunities for growth? These fractures are perfectly designed by the all-loving universe, encoded with the medicine you need. Call on courage and commit to a healing path. Start by shining a light on the darkness within. What does it look like? Where does it come from? And what do you see? This is the work your soul came here for, and alchemy is your birthright. So you may be experiencing feeling inadequate, oppression, needing to learn persistence and self-discipline. That kind of makes sense with the self-discipline. We do have Saturn's energy, which is the ruling planet of Capricorn. And in the major arcana of the tarot, that would be the devil's energy. And the devil kind of binds us to a post. It's almost like being grounded as a child to sort through and understand and learn a lesson here. Perhaps before moving on to your goals and aspirations, or maybe a persistence and dedication to your goals and aspirations. So Sagittarius, as I mentioned, can be the house of goals, desires, achievement. The energetics of Sagittarius, we have optimism, philosophy, ethics, imagination, exploration, and independence. How do you navigate life? Do you typically respond emotionally or logically, passively or actively? Are you a bold mover or a safe player? Maybe a mix of it all. It's time to begin piloting from a broader, deeper belief system. You're being asked to develop a moral code, a personal creed, anything from a self-written sentence filled with integrity and expressing your values, to a full-blown life philosophy. So this may even be developing like a mantra, something that you maybe feel you lack within, kind of embracing more of that energy. Develop an ethical umbrella unique to you to shape the lens through which you pilot your life. It will set you free and elevate your navigation skills. So we all move toward things here, maybe sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously. Things that drive us, things that there was that energy of maybe working with a mantra. So that's like an affirmation, right? Reaffirming something within yourself that you maybe feel is lacking at this time, which that's where the devil's energy comes into play. It, like I said, it kind of binds us to our like desires and fears a little bit, to try to help us work through those desires and fears, to bring them to kind of the forefront so you can try to kind of heal that energy within so it doesn't keep disturbing the path forward. You have house number 9, which is Sagittarius's house again, with spiritual growth. So I'm being called to the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle cards. On the pre-shuffle, you have breakthrough to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. Kind of makes sense, because the way these cards flipped out, Sagittarius wasn't wanting to show itself. It was Saturn that was coming first, so it's almost with that devil energy of being grounded. It's grounding your energy, observing the lessons of the past, if you will. It's kind of like the mind that compartmentalizes experiences, trauma, situations, circumstances of life, but then it's also about sitting with it and unpacking it and sorting through it all to kind of purge and get rid of anything that's unnecessary, anything that you're kind of not really concerned about anymore, so that you can move into your goals and desires with a stronger concept of self without self-sabotaging behavior. So it wants to be revealed to the viewer. There was something when I was reading one of those 2 cards that was drawing me to this deck for some reason. So we have In the Light of the Moon, number 3. 3s can be connected to that Gemini's energy, which is perfect with the orca, right? You kind of have the light and shadow aspects. It's interesting because the eye is just outside the light, so it's almost like being closer to the light than you realize. Illumination. A full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. I was getting that vibration too, with the human experience, right? Hardening into shame, shaming ourselves. But then if you look at the broader perspective of the human experience, it's kind of like the thorns on the rose before the bloom. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing. That is the affirmation from the Moon X or Moon Phases app. I just wanted to see, right now we're in the new moon of Sagittarius. Look at that. Triple Sagittarius energy coming out. Because there was, house number 9, which would be technically connected to Sagittarius as its kind of ruler. But I wanted to see, so that maybe a time to set new intentions. You may be in a time of darkness here. I wanted to see when the full moon is. The full moon is on December 4th of 2025 in Gemini. Oh, look at that. It's also Sagittarius season. Which I was seeing the 3 is Gemini. Gemini is the 3rd zodiac sign. Gemini can be connected to the light, the shadow, strength. Communication. So you may be having like divine communication or even like a divine intervention kind of with that Saturn's energy. Sometimes you choose to ignore your problems or avoid them in hopes that they will dissipate or disappear after a while. Explore the part of yourself you may have been too anxious to shine a light on. Don't be afraid to call attention to yourself by bravely exposing your most personal truths. The world can be stressful, with competition and deadlines. Everyone needs extra support now and then. Ask God, your angels, guardians, the universe, or other higher power to guide you. Take a few moments and sit with your request. You may choose to pray or meditate. Asking for blessings and guidance can improve your understanding and put you in a state of clarity and serenity. Orca whales are considered one of the most intelligent mammals on Earth. They usually travel in groups and hunt for prey at night. Orcas represent dreams, intuition, emotions, and healing. This orca leaps high into the air in front of a full moon to bring your attention to issues you can no longer afford to avoid. Use the light of the moon to draw your attention to something you need to be willing to release. Balance your need to be right or strong. I'm getting the energy of jellyfish, which I think is angel number 22. You have angel number 22 coming through on the page number for this card. Twos can be connected to Taurus's energy with personal values and self-worth, how we feel about ourselves, what we value. 2 plus 2 is a 4, which is that Cancer's energy, the moon, which can be connected to home, family, and hearth, which is the upbringing, right? Childhood traditions. That could be why that devil energy is almost grounding us into something to show us a deeper lesson, or to remember a lesson from the past even. But it's interesting, I didn't know orcas actually hunted at night. I don't think I've ever seen that in a documentary or anything. And I'm just thinking, at night, doesn't everything kind of go bioluminescent? So I'm just kind of seeing the jellyfish, and I believe in this deck the jellyfish is it 22 or 33? So those numbers may have significance to you. But it's almost like it could be clearing the some of the dangerous or toxic creatures of the sea, if you will. I'm getting this energy of like bypassing hypnosis. I'm just kind of, I was getting this image of them like hunting cuttlefish, which cuttlefish can really, they use their colors to hypnotize their prey. But the orca operates with one half of the brain at a time. So it's almost like a loophole. Removing the threats and danger here to hit our goals and objectives. So let's take a look at this Saturn energy for you, viewer, with the Mermaid Tarot. What does the viewer need to know about this Saturn energy of feeling restricted and experiencing struggle? We have the Empress and the Ten of Cups. So this for some could be feeling restricted by a spouse or family or both. May even feel like you have what you want, but it's not fully satisfying here. Sometimes I get drawn to this fourth cup here just because it's the only one that's not being shown. With all the cups lined up here, it's kind of covered by the fish, which brings me to the Four of Cups, which there can be some sort of discontentment or obligation. The Empress is connected to the divine feminine. You also have the Eight of Swords coming out in reverse. This definitely can represent unclarity here. For some, you may be questioning whether or not to even cut ties here, right? This card does speak of picking up this sword if you feel strong enough to wield it. The Ten of Cups speaks of the need to ground emotional energy back into the world of every day. The boring process called life, settling your wearing emotions into the habitual patterns of domesticity. It is here in the basic grind of life that we find true flow. It is in the mundane that we get lost and leave our stress and drama behind. It is this energy that now beckons you to calm, relax, and allow yourself to once again get swept up in everyday tasks that compromise a life with purpose and meaning. And I do like that because technically these cards came out this way, right? And then you have the Empress, which is, the Empress is usually depicted as pregnant, right? So it's usually crucial for pregnant women to relax here, to not put stress on their body while they're growing life. Enjoying the mundane and not necessarily needing like chaos in one's life, excitement, adventure necessarily. There will be new adventures on the horizon if you so choose, but enjoying the here and now. So Yamaya is the mother of the sea, said to have birthed the fish children into existence. Her shining Venus star is the light that helps guide them home. She's the ruler of water and all who live under this protective wave. It is her job to carry life, bring newness into the world, and keep the sacred royal genes of her people intact. Her beauty is beyond compare, and all who know her want to be just like her. She is affectionate and compassionate, but knows how to scold and discipline when the situation requires it. She holds the conch shell of fertility, and with one song she can lay the expectant seeds of something new into your life. All she wants to know is whether you will be able to see this through from conception to birth. Will you give these seeds time to germinate and grow at their own speed and flow, and bear fruit in their own time? Like all mothers, Yemaya wants you to have your heart's desires, but also knows that for it to happen, you need to pledge commitment and loyalty to the responsibilities she can bring. So your heart's desires, that was coming through with that Saturn's energy of feeling restricted. This could be a time to sort through oneself so that when your heart's desires do come in, you are more ready and able to actually maintain and grow it instead of something coming prematurely. The Empress is full of potential, both literally and metaphorically. Everything she does is to bring new, loving, creative energy into the world. She knows what it takes to see something grow from an idea, from something intangible to a physical, tangible thing. She understands the amount of time, energy, and commitment involved in the process of creation. Now she asks if you understand as well. Nothing worth creating will be quick and easy. It will take its toll and push you to the edge of your limits and beyond. And the Empress knows that it will all be worth it in the end. It's almost like the struggle is real, but without the struggle, it won't bring satisfaction in the end. It is really bad to walk away from information. Is it really bad to walk away from information you never asked for? In our age of information overload, the Ace of Swords in the reverse position may very well be suggesting an information diet. Hidden deep under the sea, no one can hear the stories the Sword of Knowledge has to tell, and maybe that is a good thing. We live in a world of noise already. Would you even notice another addition to the orchestra? Remove yourself from all the new information for a while and give yourself time to distinguish what is essential and useful for your ears and what is just noise pollution. So this could even be like if you're the type of person that has to have like the TV on or something in the background, no matter what you're doing, having that on constantly, it kind of seeps into our subconscious mind. You may see things from a different perspective as well. It's kind of like watching a movie as a kid, right? Or a younger person, and then watching it many years later and seeing like a whole deeper meaning to it. I'm just seeing this kind of like infinity symbol almost. One thing with the infinity symbol that I've been seeing a lot lately on my own journey, There was a pattern that I had been drawing through my earlier years that I realize is like half of the infinity symbol. But the interesting about the infinity symbol is the other half is almost invisible to the naked eye, right? Because it's in the spiritual realms. I'm just kind of seeing this, and I almost want to move it like closer. But there's something about not necessarily trying to kill our fears here, but understand where it's coming from. It's kind of like if you throw a pebble into this water, right? It'll ripple, and that energy vibration ripples through your being on different levels. But if you follow the pebble, it goes very deep. It could be something that's like lodged in there from a really long time ago, and it most likely is connected to home and family and experience within the home hearth that needs to be worked through. And maybe that's where your mantra needs to come in, is to kind of fill that void for yourself. The conch shell here, sorry, the lighting is not good on the Empress, can be a shell about healing as well. Perhaps even doing sound baths. And you may actually want to do a sound bath, like if you listen to meditation music online, on YouTube, wherever, and actually taking a bath can kind of enhance the energy of the water a little bit, enhance the energy of the sound frequencies that you're asking for. Orcos are really intelligent when it comes to sound frequencies and communication with each other. There definitely may be an opportunity to skip some sort of discontentment here and move into I'm seeing like a reconciliation, or an offering of some sort, an apology perhaps even. I was looking at this card again, this fish. I don't know if you can see it. It's like bypassing the fourth cup. So that's 3 cups are for joy. The 5th cup is sorrow and grief, but the underlying energy, you have the Ace of Cups, which is bringing me into the 6 of Cups, and this cup is really being like highlighted. The 6 of Cups is all about reconciliations, reconnecting, peace offerings, things of that nature. With the peace offering and the Ace of Cups as the underlying energy, this could be even offering that acceptance, that olive branch to yourself here, filling your own cup. Behind it, you do have the Hierophant's energy, which is connected to laws and traditions, right? So this could be a call to journal, record. You have the Emperor, which will help you move forward. So it's like working with both sides of your own creation here. You have the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And he's pointing to the conch shell as well, which I'm just seeing. I'm trying to think of the priestess. It's strength and stability. It's like the healing is in your stability here, which was coming through about not necessarily needing adventure, but focusing more on daily routine, the mundane things of life and doing. It's probably where you're gonna find your peace here, your inner peace. Can I get another card? And the 7 of Pentacles. There's the second card of pregnancy. So pregnancy can definitely represent actual pregnancy, or it can usually often represent some sort of creation or project, something that is being birthed or worked. But with the 7 of Pentacles, it takes time, patience, and dedication. You have worked hard and are finally starting to see results of all those hours working away to achieve your current goals. But you are not there just yet, and now would be the worst time ever to take your foot off the gas. Instead, dig deep and work harder so you can get yourself across the finish line. The underlying energy where it's all leading to, we have the card of justice, balance. There's that sword as well. It's with the sword, I kind of, as above and so below, right? And with it reversed, it's actually pointing to the heavens, right? To the divine. But here it's almost like in this physical plane. Like not heaven, not hell, the here and now. Finding the balance in your own knowledge, perhaps. Let's pull an angel from the Angel of Atlantis Oracle cards. On the pre-shuffle, you have the energy of liberation with the eagle spirit. Flying high. Which I'm kind of seeing that in the Ace of Swords as well. Maybe cutting energetic cords, but it's almost like doing it by asking through divine assistance. So this could be like a call to prayer, putting an intention out there, asking for some sort of answer. Liberation was exactly the card that wanted to come out too. I am seeing the solar plexus chakra here, even the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is more in the belly. The solar plexus chakra would actually be where the hands are. So it's almost like using the light to get the seed to grow. But the solar plexus chakra can be connected to our own confidence, joy, belief of self, which you did have coming out with that angel number 22, which is connected to personal value, self-worth, which is usually directly connected to our upbringing, right? So joy, fiel, liberation. We all seek spiritual liberation. When we achieve it, our soul soars like an eagle with the intoxication of divine love. This card suggests this may be a moment when you seek Jophiel's supernal help and invites you to meditate on the beautiful yellow ray of this powerful archangel's force. The vibration of this bright supernal frequency will always allow you to feel detached. Jophiel will lift the challenge from you and lead you into discernment. Consequently, liberation will enrapture you, springing you from whatever confined you feel your spirit is caught in. Chant Ha 3 times through your heart chakra. You will seal the promise of liberation. So it's Ha, H-A-H, and you take a deep, deep breath in, and on the out breath, you start slow and you try to reverberate the energy of Ha on the out breath in the center of your heart, in the center of your chest. 3 times to anchor liberation within your heart. The underlying energy, you do have mercy here with Metatron. So this will help you receive mercy. I'm just noticing she's pointing to a book, or it might even be like a painting. Some sort of spiritual knowledge or understanding. I'm almost seeing like a purifying as well. We just have, because you have this Metatron, which is being represented by, I'm going to say, the diamond. But it's almost like the yellow is kind of like fading, like purifying the energy. could even be connected to your belief system on like whatever your religious belief is. I kind of see the golden as a little bit more godlike. So whether you believe in God or not, this can be liberation from fears and uncertainties of even not knowing what is the truth, right? When it comes to our own spirituality and conceptions. So let's see what else you need to know with the Akashic Truth. What else does the viewer need to know at this time? Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. So this is coming out more for the Saturn energy, which I was kind of getting that Six of Cups, which can be extending an olive branch, offering an apology, reconciliation. It's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. And then for the Sagittarius energy, which was optimism, exploration, and freedom, we have a resolution. Whatever it is that you have been struggling with is about to be resolved. Remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief. So that is interesting because I was getting that the major arcana of the devil's energy with that Saturn, right? And the next card in the major arcana would be the Tower moment. The Tower moment kind of comes in when we're getting like too big for our bridges, or we need to be moved in a new direction. That divine intervention. So with the devil's energy, it's almost like restricting you, holding you in a space to work through your own energies, so that when that tower comes across your path and it's time to build upon your foundation, you don't sabotage its growth, which then will move you into your dreams and desires, but being able to kind of steadily alchemize them instead of getting ahead of yourself. So there may be a need for resolution within, people around you, situations of the past here. Definitely could be connected to a mother or children. We do have two pregnant women showing up, one showing directly in your Saturn energy in the first message, right? The Empress, who's usually pregnant. Maybe some issues that need to be resolved or overcome. Look at that, understanding. This is the underlying energy. Understanding is the key to getting inside another person's head. Everyone has his or her own story and situation. Trying to look at things from the other person's point of view can reduce conflict and enhance relationships. And you have that lion's energy with that confidence. Give you some sort of liberation, putting yourself in another's shoes. So let's pull some closing advice with the Avalon Magic. Closing advice. Look at that. You have it right on the top too. That Ace of Cups again. Holy Grail. getting the energy of how Jesus turned water into wine, but it's like turning it back again, because technically water is healing and nourishing and wine is poison. So how you choose to work with this situation is going to make all the difference. There's a need for understanding, letting go. This could be for some too, like if you're in a partnership, which definitely is, I'm almost going to say, the case for most people, because we have family, a pregnant mother here, we have two lovers here, we have two lovers here. This is the first card that wanted to come out, is another pair of lovers. Love always supports you and aligns you with your true purpose. Where was I going with that? Oh, letting go. So there could be in relationships, you could have fears and insecurities. I feel like even in relationships, it's hard. It can be sometimes hard to be in like the two minds. We're usually kind of in our own body, right? Seeing from our own perspective, which is natural. But this could also be past experiences that have been tied to certain situations that may be causing some sort of restriction or fear, feeling like a repeated pattern. But maybe putting yourself in the other person's shoes will offer some sort of deeper understanding into perhaps them, I guess. Them and perhaps even yourself here. I'm kind of getting this High Priestess energy, but it's almost like her hand is on her heart, like really being called to the inner journey of oneself. It is easy to love and accept the light side of yourself. It takes courage to acknowledge and love the darker side. So this could very much even be the Gemini energy, right? The masculine and feminine within us, the mother and father. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mother and father, because some of us can run in completely opposite directions of our parents, but it kind of all boils down to the same thing in the end, right? Being made of both. It's easy to love and accept the light side of yourself. It takes courage to acknowledge and love the darker side. But there is wisdom there. You have that owl showing up again. But it's interesting. It goes from like a brown owl that can be barely seen to like this really bright, illuminated owl. Then you have this stag or buck in the background, which definitely can be connected to the masculine energy. Never be afraid to voice your truth, as truth comes from a deep place within your soul. There's some sort of fear and anxiety here. The Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords can be a card of like not sleeping, paranoia, fear, exhaustion. Being afraid of somebody here. Could even be partially afraid of, for those with partner or people in general, whoever that person may be, a fear of them. Then you have the Three of Pentacles, which is all about learning to work together and understand each other. The Three of Pentacles can be connected to work life as well. So this may be like a business relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a romantic one either. But the Three of Pentacles represents three different people or energies all working together that all have different skill sets or different skill levels. It's definitely could be that fear of one's own goals, desires, life path, but with the Three of Pentacles, it's like keep plugging away and working at it. The Four of Cups did want to come out. So the Four of Cups, this card kind of represents sadder energies, could even be depression. And I did get that Four of Cups originally in there, right? I was kind of drawn to the Four of Cups. But there may be somebody that's offering or assisting you. This could even be temptation, though. Somebody trying to help you out of your mind. And if you need the help, you may have to take that help, right? But if you know yourself and this is just a cycle, it's kind of like working through that energy as well. To find your own truth and clarity with the King of Swords. This could even be the sword. The sword I see is a catch-22. It's like seeing both sides of a situation. What you put out, you'll get back. So there may be some anxiety, fear here, a little bit of self-soothing. Especially with all the wine bottles, right? But it's funny because I did say the whole thing about Jesus turning water into wine, and she's literally coming in with a cup of water, I would assume, when he's consuming all this wine. And the thing with the wine is it really, any alcohol really dehydrates the body. So flushing it out with some water here may actually help reduce these fears. This is something like I smoke weed pretty regularly. But what I'm actually getting is when I don't eat before I smoke it, I actually have like a kind of bad high. It's not very good. I start to feel sick. But if I eat first, then it's actually usually kind of fine. It doesn't interrupt my thoughts too much. So maybe a call for you, viewer, if you are self-indulging, to put some food, some water, hydration back into the body. You may come out of this energy a little bit easier and start seeing a little more clearly. So with these energies coming out with that Four of Cups and the Nine of Swords, the Four of Cups can speak of obligations as well, right? The traditional Four of Cups is usually about obligations that we have to focus on, maybe not feeling exactly satisfied, but there was a call to focus on the mundane here. Our daily to-do list, if you will. The fears and insecurities may even just be a fear and insecurity of not being able to keep everything stable or afloat. We did have something with a sound bath that was coming through, so this may resonate for some people out there. The sound bath, but actually doing it in the bath. I was getting the energy with like addictions. A hot bath, especially if you do, well, probably, I don't know if all drugs, but most drugs. If you take a hot bath at the end of your excursion, we'll say, it's supposed to help open up the pores and kind of steam out the effects of the chemicals, the toxins in your body, to help release it quicker. Now, if you're going to take a bath, you want to take a bath probably closer to the end of your use. If you take a bath at the beginning of your use, it's probably going to amplify whatever you're ingesting. But that may help as well. Sometimes I use a bath just for like just a cleansing, a purging, a renewing, right? So that may help bring in some clarity with that King of Swords energy. But that is the reading I have for you at this time. I hope it resonates, viewer. If it did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please feel free to share my channel with anyone that you think would resonate with the messages that come through my readings. That would be greatly appreciated. As I mentioned before, the decks, all my links will be in the description box below. I will see you next time, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.